So typical career advice tends to be discover your passion. What motivates you? And by the way, that's important. Of course you should, because if I hate that, then you're probably not going to be good at it. You're certainly going to be miserable. So passion's important, but like when you think about it from a business perspective, entrepreneurship perspective, it's like, well, what are your product and services? What are your skills? What are you offering? Well, what does the market want? Well, maybe you say, well, look, I'm really, really good at writing, but actually speaking on video I'm pretty good at, and that's actually, in fact, there's much more demand for that, right? And so there's what the market looks like. There's the competition, right? So like, well, what are my competitive edges? What is the thing that I have that fewer other people have? And that also helps you with your kind of market price. And then how do you think about investing in yourself? Well, how do you do that in a way to make yourself better, to have progress? And that's, of course, the 50,000-foot level. But then you go down into the details of like, well, having a network is really useful. Figuring out how to take risks smartly is useful. Figuring out how to kind of make decisions around how you engage in social media. So I think part of what you need to do is say, okay, how do you convert challenges into opportunities? So like, okay, pandemic, economic asteroid, hit a lot of industries, hit a lot of careers, hit a lot of people's geophysical locations. That means there's a shakeup. That also is, by the way, part of the reason why thinking about it like an entrepreneur does. Because an entrepreneur says, oh, the market's changing, there's new technology, the internet's coming, there's something I can do. Well, it's the same thing for you and your career and your jobs as a way of doing it. So the first thing you want to do is kind of say, okay, well, given these changes, as opposed to go, it's changing, like, oh, what's now possible? Then you use your network, right? You call smart people, maybe go out to lunch with someone that you know, and go out to lunch and say, hey, what's going on? Which industries are growing and thriving, recovering? Which ones are a good fit? You may not even you shouldn't necessarily just be doing that because I'm looking for a job this week, next week, obviously super important if that's what you're doing. But that general kind of awareness and connection probably is taking risk intelligently. Most people are pretty freaked out about risk. Most people want stability in what they're doing. And by the way, part of our thing is adaptability is the new stability, like learning and so forth. It can be a little challenging, but you can do it actually. It isn't, you have to be, jump 20 feet. It's just try new things a little bit and be willing to fail a little bit initially as you're doing that, kind of do that. And that's part of taking risk intelligently. Because when you take risks, you'll learn something. When you take risks, you may get a breakout opportunity. When you take risk, you may discover something amazing about yourself. And so figure out how to take small risks intelligently. Life is a team sport, not a solo sport. Have your team help you, your allies, your friendlies. Evaluate the risk, navigate it, make it lesser, recover from it easily. But that's probably the thing that most people would find most challenging.